How's it going, everybody? Another day, another sunrise, another sunset. But since this day happens to be Tuesday, we got some wrestling to talk about. Oh yeah, brother. Man, I wish it was that kind of wrestling, but nope. It's been a long time since we've had that kind of wrestling. But, welcome folks, welcome everybody to Chatting Smackdown MMC 205 Live with Thorfinn. Today, I'm labeling it Fastlane, Hell, Lana, and Cruiserweights. Because, that's really what went down tonight. So let's just break down the action right from the get-go. So we're starting the night off with the first match, Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. But before the match starts, we have Zayn and Owens attacking Corbin backstage. Now, you may be wondering why. They're not involved in this at all. Well, actually, they are. Because they don't want either of these men to win. The stipulation for this match was that the winner gets to go to Fastlane and face AJ Styles along with Zayn and Owens. So, of course, they don't want this to happen. They go and attack both Corbin and Ziggler backstage. Now, Shane can't have this. Shane doesn't want this. So Shane says that Corbin and Owens are going to have a match tonight, and so are Ziggler and Zayn. Now, if Corbin wins his match against Owens, Corbin gets added into the match and it becomes a fatal four-way. If Ziggler wins his match against Zayn, then Ziggler will get added and it'll become a fatal four-way or a fatal five-way. Pretty interesting stipulation there. So that just added more matches for the night. Doobadoo, doobadoo. Next, we move on to the second match of the evening. We have Charlotte with Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Sarah Logan with the Riot Squad. Now, last week we had Charlotte facing off against Liv Morgan and kicking her ass pretty good. And she had one down on them, two more to go down on the Riot Squad, facing Sarah Logan now. Now, Logan was looking really good in the ring, actually. She was showing some good moves, showing some good control from the get-go, just like Liv Morgan kind of was. Now, but I wrote that Charlotte, being an amazing superstar, as she always is, she just has the more experience and she just has better in-ring ability. She came up with the natural selection for the 3 count. Your winner of the night, Charlotte. 2 down, 1 to go of the Riot Squad. My prediction of this is that I expect Ruby Riott to get a title shot down the pipeline, maybe at Fastlane. And that'll be Charlotte's way of defeating the entire Riot Squad and putting the Riot Squad to rest, while still having the 3 new women on the roster that's needed to freshen things up. After that, we move on to the third match of the evening. We have Kevin Owens versus Baron Corbin. If Baron Corbin wins, he gets added to the triple threat match at Fastlane, becoming a fatal 4-way. So, Zayn and Owens wanted to stop the match, blah, blah, blah. So that's why this is happening. I wrote that's why it's happening. Yeah, I wrote that I've never really been a fan of Baron Corbin. Honestly, I just think his character is a bit stale, but he has some really nice moves in the ring, and he shows some really good fierceness. Like, you can tell that he's really into it. He just doesn't have the right character. It's just stale. Kevin Owens, he's the master of trash talk, and he just has really great wrestling ability from all of his years of experience on the indie scene, and just being a natural talent. He really is. There was a really nice spot where Corbin goes for the slide around the ring, where he goes out and goes back in and hits the clothesline, but it's blocked by Owens into a KO cannonball. It was really nice. Good spot. Corbin slams himself pretty nice and hard into those steps. It looked like a really nice bump. Corbin actually does hit that slide around clothesline. It was brutal. Kevin Owens does a whole flip. It was almost like a clothesline from Hell style. Owens hits a hot shot and charges right into a deep 6. He thought he had the advantage, but he really didn't. After that deep 6, Owens actually gets a super kick. He goes for a pop-up. Corbin grabs the ropes. goes for him and hits the end of days, and Corbin gets the 1, 2, 3. Your winner, Baron Corbin. It was nice to see Baron Corbin get a clean win over Kevin Owens, who is a really experienced wrestler, because Corbin does have some really nice moves in the ring, and I just think he really needs to work on his character. But other than that, he can go pretty far if he just works on his character a bit more. So now it's a fatal 4-way at Fastlane, and after that I just put, you know, if this is what it's gonna be, if Ziggler doesn't win later tonight, then it's just gonna be hashtag make AJ look strong. That's all it's gonna be. You know, there's no chance that AJ's gonna lose that, because there's no way that Owens, Zayn, or Corbin are gonna face Nakamura at WrestleMania. There's no way that that's just gonna happen. I don't see it happening. If Ziggler wins against Zayn tonight, it'll be a fatal 5-way. Yep, I wrote that. Being redundant. Up next, we have Bobby Roode issuing an open challenge. Roode brings up how Cena started the U.S. Open Challenge and how great of a thing it was, and he wants to continue it. He says it's to anyone in the locker room, and no one needs to go and RKO him behind his back like they have been. Right after that, he waits for his opponent, and Randy Orton comes out, obviously, because he called him out, like, low-key called him out. Then Jinder Mahal comes out and talks about how the locker room doesn't respect Andy, doesn't respect Randy, doesn't like Randy, and I don't get why Jinder is coming out and saying this. He's not even on the list at all. Jinder has no place on the list. Like, he's not even on it at all. He's trying to bother Randy about how Bobby was placed on 5th, and he's only been on the main roster for about 6 months. So the crowd keeps chanting for an RKO because they're just done with Jinder. Everyone's done with Jinder. We don't want to hear from Jinder anymore. It's not even that we don't like Jinder because he's a good heel. We don't like Jinder because he's not a good heel. He's just not that good on the mic. He makes no sense. And he's just annoying. He has no purpose right now, other than just being annoying and being there. He has no talent, and he has no mic ability. Honestly, his in-ring ability is very limited. Very limited. He's been getting better. I will admit, he's been getting better, but so far it's been extremely limited and disappointing. So Roode reminds Jinder that he wasn't even on the list, which is what I brought up. So I was happy that someone freaking said it, because I don't know why Jinder has any place to say anything. So that pissed off Jinder. I don't know why he got so upset when he's trying to piss someone else off about it. Whatever. Roode respects Orton. Roode said, you know, I respect you, Orton. Everything that you've done, you know, being 13-time world champion in the company, being here for many, many years. But he says that he's number 9 because he has to attack people out of nowhere, behind their back. So Randy goes, oh, you mean like this? And then he RKOs the Singh brother that's with fucking Jinder. And it's pretty great. So then Jinder goes for Randy. Bobby Roode tries to hit fucking Jinder with the glorious DDT, but Randy interrupts because he's got some beef with Bobby Roode, which allows Jinder Mahal to take advantage of it all, hit them both with the Colossus, and stand above everybody. You know, it was pretty sad. It was pretty sad that they wanted that. And they have the MMC promo. All I put is Lana's the best, not Lana's number 1. That's all I have to hear about, because that's all I was looking forward to in the MMC tonight. I'll get into that later, though. Next, we have a New Day segment, and they literally did the like, they kept it going extra long today, like, for no reason, honestly. But it was funny, but like, they literally just kept it going for, like, I'm gonna say like an extra 5 seconds longer, and it was noticeable, and everyone was paying attention to it, and it was just kind of ridiculous. Now, the ring is full of fucking pancakes when the New Day comes out. Like, the ring has tables and there are pancakes, like, all everywhere. And so they do this so that Big E can start a fucking pancake eating competition, so he can just wolf down, see how many he can eat in a minute. He eats a lot when they start it, but then Gable and Benjamin come out and tell them to open an IHOP instead. That they shouldn't be wrestlers, that they should stop. They should just open an IHOP if this is what they're going to do all the time. But Woods reminds them of all of their accolades in the WWE, you know, saying that they're the longest reigning tag team champions of all time, that they've won multiple tag team championships. Kofi Kingston's a decorated superstar. So they're a very serious tag team, even though we just witnessed Big E trying to scarf down tons of fucking pancakes for a competition, so he's super serious. So Gable's like, alright, if you're such a serious tag team, can you handle this? And they take some pancakes and start dropping it on the floor. And immediately, they get dead quiet. They are pissed that they are dropping their pancakes on the floor. They cannot handle it. They are full-blown fucking angry. Gable and Benjamin says that no one likes pancakes. They're gonna eat waffles. Big E literally got triggered. He got full-blown, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go off on this guy, triggered. Because they said they were gonna eat waffles instead of pancakes. This is fucking hilarious. A referee had to step in and hold Big E back just for that comment. It was actually really funny. So the official staff clears the tables, the pancakes go away, and they make the match official, and they start it. And I have to note, literally, right before the match starts, they go to commercial, and Denny's has an all-you-can-eat pancakes for $4 commercial. No fucking joke. And I've just about died. I just about died. There's never been such perfect timing before when it comes to something like this. It was honestly fucking hilarious. And I've never seen anything like that. So, after the commercial, we start match 4 of the night, Gable and Benjamin versus The New Day with Kofi and Big E. Woods on the outside. Now, I wrote that I really, really loved Gable and Benjamin's teamwork and technical in-ring ability. It's really clear that they both have legitimate wrestling history. And they're really such a natural team that brings some freshness. God, I can't speak tonight. What's going on with me? That brings some freshness into the WWE tag team division. We've been really needing something different for a while, and these guys really bring it, and you can tell they have some nice teamwork. Kofi and Big E obviously know how to work together. I mean, they're one of the greatest tag teams of all time. They're literally up there with the Hardys, the Dudleys, the Mega Powers, Demolition, and all the likes. They're literally up there with all of them. They're that great. They've been showing it for the past few years how great they are. Their cohesion and their experience led them to the ultimate victory with the Midnight Hour. Your winners, the New Day. I wasn't really surprised. New Day is just a really good tag team. They can cut a funny promo, they can do a funny segment, but they can also show you up in the ring with their great tag work and their great solo work too, and they don't need their tag partner, say their tag partner's out. They can do it on their own in the ring, each one of them. Up next, we have our main event for the evening, Dolph Ziggler versus Sami Zayn, but before we have a lot of stuff happen actually. Renee interviews Ziggler, and Ziggler says that he needs the opportunity. This is what he was born to do, and the one thing that's eluded him his whole career is headlining WrestleMania, and he said he'll be damned if he doesn't enter it as the WWE Champion. The Usos have a promo, but then wait, no, it's actually not a Uso promo, it's actually a Bludgeon Brothers promo, because in the middle of it, the screen shatters, and then you actually see the Bludgeon Brothers being menacing, standing there, not saying anything, but it was actually the Bludgeon Brothers promo. So I liked it. It was a good trick. It was a good bait and switch. So now we have backstage. We have Zayn and Owens. Owens is pleading Zayn to win the match tonight, and Zayn says it doesn't matter. There's no we anymore. It's every man for himself when it comes to this championship match and the opportunities for it, which he's absolutely right. Now we finally have the main event for the evening, Zayn versus Ziggler. If Ziggler wins the match at Fastlane, it will be a fatal 5-way. They announced before that next week, Charlotte, Becky, and Naomi will be fighting the Riot Squad in a 6-woman tag match. You see, this is what more makes me think that they're just dragging this out so that Riot can have a tag match, or have a title match at Fastlane, or sometime soon down the pipeline. They're not going to give it to her right now, but I do believe it's going to be a title match because she's the leader of the Riot Squad. It's all about her, and it'll raise the stakes. Either Charlotte loses the title to Riot, or the Riot Squad will probably fall apart. So, I think it's a nice raising of the stakes here. Now we finally get into the match. It starts. Ziggler is not showing any ring rust at all. He's doing really great. They exchange some really nice good holds. You know, they start with the collar and elbow tie-up. They do all that kind of nice stuff. They grapple around, showing they're great technicians. Zayn is showing... Zayn shoves his boot really deep in fucking Ziggler's face and gets a nice stun gun. Or slingshot. You know, same thing. Same difference, you know. They put their face in the fucking rope and smash it down in there pretty hard. Zayn attempts a double axe handle afterwards, but eats a nice fucking drop kick from Ziggler. It's very flush, almost like an Orton drop kick, you know, because he does... I was going to say that Orton does the best drop kicks in the company. Now Ziggler is up there too, because they both pull off some really nice drop kicks. Then they go to commercial. We're back. We see Ziggler breaking from Zayn to hit a Famouser for a 2 count. Ziggler goes up to the top, but is hit by Zayn. Ziggler blocks Zayn's attempt at a suplex, but Zayn hits a crazy fucking exploder from the top rope. They go flying, and the both men are fucking way up there, and they slam pretty damn hard. And they're both out for a good bit. They lay there for a while. They stumble up and exchange some blows, but Zayn fucking catapults Ziggler right into the corner, goes for a haluva kick, but eats a zigzag. 1, 2, nope! He kicks out. Kicks out of the zigzag. He wants to keep this match going. He wants to keep going. Ziggler setting him up for a super kick that gets thrown into the corner post. Zayn throws him into the corner post again, 2 times in a row, 2 hard smacks. Zayn then going for the blue thunderbomb, but Ziggler gets a roll up for 2. Zayn gets another exploder into the corner and preps for a haluva kick, but gets hit right in the face with a gnarly fucking super kick. Knocked right fucking face. Gets the 3 count. 1, 2, 3. Your winner, Dolph fucking Ziggler. That made me so freaking happy, man. There's going to be a fatal 5-way at Fastlane for the WWE Championship. Could Ziggler actually take AJ's place at WrestleMania? Is that freaking possible? Because Ziggler has never had this opportunity before. And Ziggler is another great wrestler. So now that he's added into this match, that changes everything. Ziggler could possibly take AJ's place and face Nakamura at WrestleMania. Ziggler hasn't missed a beat. Now, honestly, I don't think that Ziggler is going to win the match, but I think that if anyone were to deserve to beat AJ in that match, it would definitely be Dolph Ziggler. He deserves it more than any of the rest in the match. Because, let's face it, Ziggler, he's been in the company for a while. He doesn't have much more time left. Like, he doesn't have 2, 3 years. I honestly don't think he does. And he wants to do other things. I know that he also really loves doing stand-up comedy. He may have cut a promo saying he was born to do wrestling, but he's also very devoted to stand-up comedy. So that might be a route that he wants to take. I don't know how much longer he has in the WWE, especially when he keeps coming up short like this and they keep just not doing much with him. He had a really good heyday a few years ago and he had some impressive title reigns, but now he's just not doing much, and it's very sad because he's still very talented. And then they end the show with Ziggler celebrating his victory. Next, we move on to the Mixed Match Challenge. Bayley and Elias versus Lana and Rusev. Literally, Bayley and Rusev start playing the guitar in the ring as they recap what happened last night. You know, fucking Elias getting the hell beat out of him by fucking Braun Strowman with a giant fucking bass. It was crazy. And literally, you know, Elias does, "Hello, I'm Elias," and right after that, "Hello, I am Bayley." It was really funny, you know, because you don't expect that kind of stuff. And right after that, we got Rusev Day. We got Rusev Day coming now. Lana is the best. Lana number 1. Lana is the best. Lana number 1. I literally just kept writing that, and I wrote Machka, Rusev Day, Rusev. I love Rusev. I don't know if you guys noticed by now, but I love fucking Rusev. Rusev, I don't know what it is about him. I don't know what it is about the character, the gimmick. I just love all of it, honestly. I think it's so funny. I think it's the greatest meme. That's probably what it is. It's just so meme-worthy in the WWE. Like, it's just so absurd. And that's, like, best thing about a meme, is the absurdism. Now, Rusev and Elias start the match, but before Rusev starts the Lana chant, because you got it, Lana's the best, Lana's number one. Lana is the best, Lana's number one. So, they start, but Rusev, you know, he tags in Lana. You know, he said, I want you to start Lana. So, Bayley gets her good, but Lana brings Bayley down and does a fucking, like, a guttural war, you know, trying to be fucking strong and crazy. Bayley gets a drop toe hold right after that and hits a nice body slam. Lana leaves the ring and grabs the guitar and starts freaking out. Rusev stops her and tells her back away from the guitar to stop. And he takes the guitar from her and drops it on the ground, which pisses off Elias. Elias just goes after Rusev and stops after a while. Oh, I forgot to say that Rusev and Lana are wearing fucking matching outfits that look fucking beautiful. They're great together. Honestly, I loved it. So, after Lana gets back in the ring, she tags in Rusev. The two exchange holds. You know, they do their normal collar and elbow tie-up. They get to the corner. They separate. Rusev begins to attempt a test of strength. Elias is reluctant because it's fucking Rusev. Rusev's fucking... He's huge and he's strong as fuck. So, before they meet hands, Rusev gets a fucking kick right in the stomach. Gets a back elbow to the face. He goes for a fucking quick pin for a 2. And I wrote right after this, I'm watching this on Facebook Live, you know, because this is where they're doing the mixed match challenge. And throughout the whole match, you have Big E. He's literally commenting on the whole thing. He's actually commenting and leaving comments. And he just keeps saying the funniest shit, honestly. Like, he keeps making fun of Rusev's outfit mostly, saying it looks like a Tron outfit, how he looks like he's the guy that hands out margaritas at a bar. It's just a bunch of funny things, you know. It was great. So, Rusev hits a nice Machka kick right on Elias, and goes for the accolade, but Elias breaks out and gets the tag for Bayley. Lana hits Bayley with a Bella Buster, a full-on Bella Buster. It was pretty good, and then she gets a 2 count. Lana works on Bayley, and honestly, Lana is looking a lot better in the ring than she ever has. I'm very impressed with her, because when she debuted on the main roster, she just wasn't that good because she didn't have any real wrestling experience at all. She wasn't even on NXT. She just got the opportunity because of her relationship with Rusev. Now, I can tell that she's been practicing really hard in the ring. And it pays off. She's been doing pretty well. So, Bayley gets her normal comeback sequence, you know, where she does her normal shit, throwing them in the ring, going for the hip slam. But before she does, like, the Bayley taunt, you know, where she does the taunt, she actually does an air guitar, because, you know, she's with Elias, and it just, you know, it just works like that. So, Bayley attempts a Bayley to belly from the top rope, that gets knocked down face first by Lana, and luckily enough, it gets her the 3 count. Lana is the best. Lana number 1. Because she just is. Lana is the best. And if you're going to argue with me that Lana isn't the best, you can just leave my street. Just forget about it. Lana is the best. Lana is number freaking 1. That's how we end MMC tonight, with Lana and Rusev victorious. And I am happy. Next, we move on to Chatting 205 Live, the Cruiserweight segment of the night. We only have 2 matches to talk about. Insane, but they're 2 really, really good matches. We have Akira Tozawa versus Mark Andrews. Now, I wrote a lot on this, and, you know, I'm not going to waste anyone's time. I'm just going to go over some of the basics. You know, Tozawa is really good at having some explosive moves that makes everything exciting. But, you know, Andrews was having some pretty good control throughout the whole thing. So, he hit a really cool 619 and actually dropped the dime the whole thing. Except, you know, I don't think Tozawa recognized or knew that's what he was going for. So, it wasn't like it didn't really look like the full 619. But he did the 619 and he dropped the dime. But Tozawa didn't sell it as if it was the 619. So it was hard to tell that's what it was supposed to be. I was really impressed to see Andrews do that, because you don't really see that often unless you're watching, Cesaro. Andrews hits a modified Black Widow move, which looked fucking beautiful. Tozawa breaks out, hits a really nice dropkick, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff. Watched it. Good suicide dive from Tozawa. He's really good at those. Now, one of the amazing spots was fucking Andrews hitting a standing Phoenix Splash. A literal standing Phoenix Splash. You know that move that, Rich Swann would do from the top rope, or that, Seth Rollins would do from the top rope. They'd have to be way up there. No, he did it standing. And it blew me away. Honestly, like, I just, it was great. It was beautiful. Flush. He did the full twist in the air, standing. And he only got a 2 count. Man, I was hoping that would get the 3, because that was just beautiful. I haven't seen anything like that. They have a nice sequence that ends in a crazy stunner from Andrews for another 2 count. It was a good stunner, though. Andrew goes back up top, and he misses a hit and needs a boot. Tozawa goes for a pin, but gets rolled up for a 3. Your winner, Mark Andrews. That was a really nice match. I just think that Andrews is a good addition to the Cruiserweights. Getting a fresh UK face can really make things different. After that, we have a tiny little segment where Drake Maverick gets pissed at Jack Gallagher, talking about how he's one of the greatest on the roster, and now he's not really doing anything. So next week, he needs to come back in wrestling attire, because he's going to be fighting Mustafa Ali in the Cruiserweight tournament. Now we move on to the main event. Tony Nese versus Drew Gulak, which was announced last week by Drake Maverick as a part of the Cruiserweight tournament. Now, this really wasn't a bad match at all. Nese and Gulak trade off really well, back and forth the whole time, honestly. Like, the whole time it was going back and forth. You really can't tell who's on top of the other. It was really nice, and it was a fresh surprise given their lackluster matches before. They honestly have never really impressed me. But this match, you could tell that the stakes were high. They both wanted to move on further into the Cruiserweight tournament, move on to WrestleMania, so I was really impressed by all of this. One of the great spots was a one-arm buckle bomb from Tony Nese to the lower fucking turnbuckle. It was crazy. Gulak hits a frickin' clothesline from hell, like a legit clothesline from hell, like I was talking about earlier, but like legit. It was fucking great. Gulak beats the hell out of Nese, hits multiple power bombs. Gulak fucking gets the Dragon Sleeper in and holds it, and it's over. Like, Nese is done. Almost as soon as he puts in that Dragon Sleeper, Gulak fucking won it. So I wrote that was a goddamn crazy match. Nese and Gulak really showed it tonight, more than they ever have before. It was an amazing athleticism from Nese, and you have the brutality of Gulak. It just made his character that more vicious. It really worked out. Honestly, I want to see more of that from these two. But Gulak, he's moving on, and he grabs the title from the table, and he holds it high, hoping to move on to the tournament, to the third round, whoever he's going to face in the second round. So, that's the end of the WWE Wrestling program tonight. Next week, tomorrow, I'm not going to be doing NXT, given I have some responsibilities I have to take care of. But next week, I'll be back on track. Monday, we're going to be doing Raw. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be in Raw right before Elimination Chamber, so I'm expecting it to be fucking crazy, fucking amazing. And I'm expecting a new webcam fucking soon. So this crazy 2005 style bullshit is going to go away. We're going to have some better quality coming soon. I'm very excited for that. But thank you so much for joining me on Chatting Smackdown MMC 205. I hope that you will enjoy these streams as much as I do. I love discussing this. I love doing this. And I'm hoping that I can get more people involved and we can actually have better discussions on the wrestling and what we want to see happen. I know that Bustin' Jeeber, Matt Eldridge, and I, we want to work on a wrestling podcast a little down the pipeline. I want to get a better microphone. I want my better webcam, even though that's not really necessary for the podcast. But we've been talking about doing a podcast for the past few months. I mean, we did our technical difficulties for a while, but you know, we stopped really doing that, and we wanna do a wrestling podcast because that's something that we are really good at talking about. But again, I want to thank everyone for joining me tonight, and I really hope that you'll join me for the next wrestling podcast, or for the next wrestling thing, or for the next stream that I do. I like to do a lot of things. Go check out Glasses. He's streaming some Fortnite right now. He's doing some of that cool stuff. But go check him out there. I'm going to be ending the stream here. I really appreciate everyone for coming, and I'll check you out next time.